Hello, I'm Brigante here, Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Tuesday. Had a couple of thoughts I just wanted to share with you real quick today, and it's all around the idea of practicing what you preach. Giving lip service to one idea, but then submitting to other ideas is at the root of many of the problems we're facing within our society today, and we're living with the consequences because there's obviously no accountability for hypocrisy, no accountability for betrayal, no sense of responsibility for anyone to actually bring themselves back into alignment or for us to say there's a disconnect and that has to be resolved in some way. That's why none of this is happening. And this is also the reason why we can't simply just hunker down and try to evade all the problems that are born of this root problem because our walking away from it, our hiding away from it, that is what is enabling these problems to continue, and it emboldens the people who take advantage of the hypocrisy. All those nasty opportunists who just say, people aren't holding anyone to account. I bet I can get away with a lot more. And of course, the longer we try to get out of facing these issues, the worse things get, and the more responsible we become for our own suffering. And that's something that I think cannot be emphasized enough. If you're familiar with the works of Ayn Rand, she used to call about the consent of the victim. That would be something to research a little bit more on your own time, just because it shows that what you allow to happen to without so much as saying no, well, ultimately you're culpable for because you haven't taken any action to defend yourself. It gets into some complicated philosophical ideas, and I think it'd be worth wrestling with. But for the sake of this video, let's move on. Let's go on to the idea that actions speak louder than words is an axiom for a reason. Because if someone says, "This bothers me, it's unacceptable, I don't like it," but then they don't make any changes and they take no action whatsoever, well, why would we take their words seriously? For what reason would we think that it is an actual serious issue? Because it just sounds like someone who's complaining because they want to complain. They don't like what's going on, but they don't want to take the trouble of actually fixing it. And it's saying that goes for more serious matters. If someone sees something going on in our society, says they vehemently oppose it, but they won't speak up for their rights when the opportunity arises for fear that someone might disapprove, then why should we believe in the scope of their opposition? Clearly, it isn't enough to do anything or even talk about it publicly. Apparently, it's not worth facing possible, not even actualized, but possible disapproval. There's a problem there because if we can't act in accordance with our convictions for fear of that disapproval, it sends a signal to other people who might be, of the same mind of like, I don't like this either, but it tells them that if you're not willing to take action, then they can't count on you. And I'm telling you right now, people are starting to take a look around at their circles and saying, can I count on this person or can I not? Is this someone who will stand with me? Or is it someone who's going to, when the time comes, shrink back into the shadows, hide in the corner and say, well, why can't you do it for me? People are watching. People are making decisions about who's going to be within their circles and who won't be. So you got to think about what category of person are you intending to be? And the thing is that if we can't control necessarily what's going on in society because that's, an amalgamation of everyone's will in society. So there's going to be limitations to how much we can affect as individuals. But we can affect ourselves, and we can at least try to be in proper alignment, to have our conduct and our ideas, going in the same direction, not contradicting each other. And I'm not saying that this is going to eliminate challenges in our lives. And in some ways, it will invite challenges into our lives because there's nothing that hypocrites dislike more than someone who is not a hypocrite. And it shows because the difference between that person and them, well, it's visible and they don't exactly appear to advantage. But the benefit of not being a hypocrite and at least trying to do your best to walk your talk is that it does make you a stronger person. And being assertive and resolute when the situation calls for it, it isn't something that's going to happen suddenly or dramatically overnight. It's not like there's going to be this big event and then you bravely take a stand after a lifetime of never standing up for yourself. No, it's going to be the result of a pattern of behavior, and that pattern will demonstrate honesty, self-respect, and having genuine principles. And when you do this, it will allow other people to see that you do have a personal sense of integrity and you are willing to stand by it. And that also communicates to the like-minded that they can rely upon you. Your word has actual value, and that if action is called for, you will take action. So in the end, standing up for what you believe and putting it into practice, it can help you find your tribe, and that can help you weather the storms in life. And I would think most people listening to this video would agree with me that we do have some storms on the horizon, and we'd be better off if we were facing it with people who had similar ideas about how to deal with that storm. So those are my few thoughts on the subject. I would love to hear yours. You can come and visit me at Blackbird's Brew on Discord. There's a link to join in the description box below. In the meantime, please subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.